What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. Bitcoin is continuing to make higher highs above the 200-day SMA. Ethereum seems to be getting set up for a massive move in the coming months, and I have some clips from an interview from somebody who says that Ethereum right now is one of the best trade setups he's ever seen. But before we get into that, if at any point you enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and turning on my post notifications. Really appreciate all the support, everybody. I'm still a super small channel, so any amount of support goes an extremely long way, and I really appreciate it. So let's start off with Bitcoin. So yesterday, Bitcoin managed to push up all the way to $45,000 before getting rejected by this 200-day moving average. Now, this moving average is a very important moving average. It is something that people have been watching, and many people feared that if we got rejected from this, that we would see lower prices from Bitcoin. However, we managed to stay above this 42.5 level, and just this morning we got a pretty massive pump all the way above this 200-day moving average. And the bears were trying to bring Bitcoin back down below, but you can see from this wick right here, that dip got bought up really quick, and it looks like the bulls are trying to push Bitcoin even higher now. We did just get a green dot on the 8-hour for Bitcoin. We had a nice little VWAP crossover here, essentially a trigger wave to this VWAP wave right here. And the money flow for Bitcoin has been increasing drastically the past couple days, which is good. There's lots of volume coming into Bitcoin. And if you've been watching my channel, one thing I've been saying to look out for is this daily money flow crossover for Bitcoin. Recently, whenever we get a major money flow crossover on one of the higher time frames, we've seen massive pumps following the money flow crossover. And I told you guys to watch this money flow on the daily time frame for Bitcoin, because if we got a money flow crossover, we could see some even higher bullish action, and it appears like that's exactly what's happening. If you look back at Bitcoin's previous price action, this level, this $46,000 level, has been a pretty significant level of support in the past for Bitcoin. We had some confluence around these areas right here, bit of support here, and over here it held as support. There was a wick down to it, but we didn't hold this support for long. We broke through it soon after, and now we are coming back up to test this line of support / resistance. Ideally, we'd like to see Bitcoin come up above this level and then hold it as support here, showing that it flipped back from resistance into support. So what we want to see from Bitcoin is hopefully some more upward action, but at the very least, we'd like to hold this $46,000 area, as well as this 200-day moving average, which appears to be moving up. It should be at this $46,000 level here soon. So maybe if Bitcoin keeps pumping, we come back down to test this support line, and the 200-day moving average has moved up to here by then. We could get a double test for support, and that could be looking very bullish for Bitcoin. Now coming over to Ethereum. Ethereum has had a nice little pump here. I was watching the charts last night. I saw that we were coming back down to test this resistance line right here. And at that same time, Market Cipher was showing some bullish divergences. Momentum waves slightly increasing as the price is coming down. I was watching this closely last night, and I fired off a long. I put in a position here and a position down here for an average entry of about 29.40. So right about here was my entry. And this trade is doing pretty good right now. I'm up about 30% in profits. It's looking like on the 4-hour this could keep going. We got a green dot here, nice little VWAP crossover. The money flow seems to be ticking up just a little bit, and the RSIs are curving sharply to the upside. So it's looking like Ethereum might want to push a little bit higher, possibly come up to test this major resistance at 33.8. If you look on the daily for Ethereum, we are getting a red dot, but this red dot is above this 60 line. If momentum is above the 60 line, it tends to want to continue this bullish action for a little bit longer. So what we're going to be looking for here is this VWAP to have a little downward action and then curve back up immediately, similar to what we saw over here. And we could possibly print a green dot above the 60 line for Ethereum. Now, I wanted to play a few clips from an interview I watched yesterday. It is on Altcoin Daily's channel. They interviewed Raoul Pal, and it was a great interview. It was about 45 minutes long. It was a nice listen, and some things that he said at the end of the interview really caught my ear. When he was asked how he felt about EIP 1559, he had a very interesting response. And essentially, Raoul Pal is extremely bullish on ETH in the coming months. I'll play the clip for you now so you can hear it for yourself.
Raoul, my final question is has to do with Ethereum. EIP 1559 is launching in a day or two. By the time this interview airs, it'll be launched. What are your thoughts on EIP 1559?
I just wrote an article about this and I called it the greatest trade in the world.
Please go on.
This setup is absolutely brilliant. So the chart pattern was this lovely wedge in Ethereum. The Ethereum chart is following the Bitcoin 2017 chart, which would give it an upside projection of 20,000. Backed that up by the network growth, where Ethereum is growing at about 50 to 60% a year in network growth, and Bitcoin's growing at 30% a year. So this is astonishing growth at scale, right? So this is not an early project. We've got all of the developments with NFTs and DeFi and everything and social tokens, everything's on Ethereum. The chance of Bitcoin versus Ethereum also is going to give a lot of people to switch. All of this is happening at exactly the same time that 1559 is coming. And then you look at the on-chain analysis. Most people spend the time, like Willy Woo, looking at the stuff on Bitcoin, but very few people actually bother with the on-chain analysis of Ethereum. The reality is the amount that's being staked for ETH 2.0 is going up all the time. It's huge numbers. Then the amount that's being put into DeFi and locked away is huge. Then the stuff that's going off the exchanges into hard wallets is enormous. That has left us with a free float of 13%. And 1559 is now going to reduce the supply somewhat, let's say from 4% to 2%. And it's going to probably lower the gas fees a bit. And with the variable block sizes, help with the speed unblocking of the network. So in which case, more transactions will go through, which will mean more burning. You're set up for an exponential move here because everything has come together all at one point in time. And Thursday is the day. I think what's going to happen as soon as 1559 goes through, everybody who's got a sizable stake will realize that the price is going up. More people will lock into 2.0 to get the yield. Let's say 2.0 comes out in March. You're going to take all the supply off the market and with record demand, and they're all going to be locked until March. Then probably what happens is 2.0 comes out, everybody unlocks, and the great bullish thing is actually a bearish thing, exactly like Coinbase was when the moment Coinbase came out, Bitcoin peaked. I think the unlock will probably lower the price. But between now and that unlock, oh my God, this is one of the best setups I've ever seen. I think arguably better than Bitcoin in March 2020.
So that is very interesting. We've all known that EIP 1559 was going to be extremely bullish for Ethereum. And, there are definitely some ETH maxis out there who are overestimating the effects of this upgrade, probably. And so when you hear people talking about it nonstop, you kind of begin to doubt it a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that just because Raoul Pal said that, it's going to happen. But when you have someone like himself, a veteran investor, having that strong of an opinion on Ethereum and its most recent upgrade, it really makes you think if maybe those mega bullish ETH maxis could be right. And it's interesting how he mentioned that ETH 2.0 coming out possibly mid-2022 could be the top signal for Ethereum. I think that's pretty interesting. Many people think that this bull run is going to be over well before then. However, there are some people that think it could carry on until mid-2022. I personally would not be opposed to that option if we carried on into late 2022. I feel like we'd have higher upside potential, so I definitely would not be opposed to that. And I think he could be right. ETH 2.0 could be a top signal, similar to how Coinbase was a top signal for Bitcoin at 64K, but we will not know until we get there. And he also mentioned how Ethereum could have an upside potential of $20,000. Now, I tend to believe that if this bull run can continue into mid-2022, if we have an extended cycle, I think a $20,000 Ethereum is very possible. But again, we will just have to wait and see. So guys, what do you think about this? Do you think Ethereum can hit $20,000 this cycle? Do you think EIP 1559 is going to be as bullish as some people say it will be? Leave your opinions down in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and turning on my post notifications. And I will see you all tomorrow for my next video. Peace out, everybody.